Watch out, they see that bucket. You might have more than the sheep following you. Hey, handsome. Thanks for helping. So this is something we've been wanting to do for a while, and it's just taken a while to do, is to string electric high tensile wire along our back fence so that our sheep have a larger area to graze. And we were able to accomplish some of that today. So that was, small wins. Getting up our electric fence in our lane and then along our back fence allows us to not have to string as many temporary wires and waste as much time doing that. Not that it's a waste of time, but it gives us the ability to do that and utilize that whole back fence area, and the sheep will keep it cleared of any debris. Sorry, Sean needed me, so I'll show you what I mean. So now our sheep, they've cleared our area from our whole pasture, and then we've run them along where our trees are to give them some shade, and then also so they can go in there and clear any of the brush that's in the woods, so that when we go in to trim any little trees and things, that's not all in the way. So we've now put high tensile wire all along our back fence, so we can just connect our poly wire, like our Premier One fencing, to that on either side of it, and it gives them a larger area to graze. So that's great. And we used the Lock Jawz clips, and then we also used just the tinsel wire. So okay, so if you can see here, see how brushy it is on this side of the fence and how it's not here, Sean, on the area where Sean is. So this is where we had it all trimmed up with a forestry mulcher, but you can see that it's starting to already grow back. So the sheep will be able to get like right up to the fence line, trim that down, and then where you see those orange clips, that's where our hot wire is run. We'll probably put more strands, but for the sheep it's really important that they're low to the ground, because you can see when they graze, their noses are so low to the ground that they're going to hit that fence with their nose when they go to graze up against that fence. And then that's where they're going to get the shock. And if the wire is up too high, they're going to graze their noses like right underneath it, and then they're going to walk under it, and their wool is going to keep them from really feeling the shock too much. So we strung 2 strands at the bottom as close as we could get without them kind of being on the ground. And we already had this back fence here, this barbed wire fence, but we really wanted to electrify it. So this is what we're trying out. And then you can see that we connected our Premier One fencing right up to it. We have one going this way and another one coming the other way and connecting, and then tomorrow they'll just move into this section. So the Lock Jaw clips, you'll see the yellow clips, they were already there, but we've always kind of had a little bit of trouble with them. But the Lock Jaw clips were very easy to install, and if your posts are not close enough together and you need to get them a little bit up off the ground, you can just put one of the white step-in posts and clip your metal high tensile wire onto the step-in posts, and that'll raise it up just a little bit, and those are movable without having to drive more T-posts in potentially, because T-posts go down further, and if you're in a really rocky area like we are, that can be tricky. So doing something like this where your fence posts are a little bit further away and you're running high tensile wire, but you need to raise this up a little bit, you can just do a white step-in post there and clip it onto the step-in post, and it should raise it up. But they will have this whole area taken care of by tomorrow. So we are just stringing our line all the way down to the end of our fencing, and we just decided to do it a little bit at a time. So probably about, how many feet, Sean, do you think we did today? Did you say that's like 300?
Feet.
You think so? I think.
Oh, right from here. Yeah.
Like 300 feet or so.
Yeah, 300 feet.
All right, so we just did it all the way up until where our cows are, and then stopped it. So we kind of tied off our fencing, and then we'll just start it again and keep going in the other direction. And the reason we did that instead of a continuous one is you can always go back and like connect those with one piece of high tensile wire to make it a continuous, fence where the electric is going all the way around. But if we have something fall on our fence or stick through it or come through it and twist the wires, we don't want the entire fence to stop working. We want to be able to fix that area and have the rest of the fence still in good shape. So we're doing kind of, we just decided to do sections that were, a few hundred feet long. And then that way, if there's an error or an issue with it, we can go and fix that area, but we don't have to fix the entire fence, if that makes sense. So our cows are in the paddock afterwards, and then tomorrow our sheep will graze this whole area into where our cows are, and that will be what we ideally wanted, which was if the sheep are grazing right behind those, you're going to get that benefit of the sheep and the cows breaking up the parasite life cycle. So and the sheep will come through and graze whatever the cows didn't. And then eventually over time, we actually want to give our sheep even larger paddocks so that they're not even grazing it down as far as they are. But for right now, we're trying to manage our fence lines from getting overgrown. So it's okay that they graze down more than ideally we would like. So typically you wouldn't want to graze it all the way to the ground, but because this year we have fields that we're saving for hay, and we're trying to get these fence lines down so that we can actually do some work on the other sides of them. We're okay with them going lower than we want them to. So, and then that's it. So you happy with that?
I am.
Okay.
It's a game changer right here.
Yeah, it helps us a lot because then we're not running extra wires. Well, before we had to put poly wire fencing all the way up against our barbed wire fencing, and sometimes we would get caught in the barbed wire, or
they just couldn't graze right up to the fence, and
right.
It wasn't clearing the fence line as well as we'd like.
Right, because we had to keep it away a little bit so it wouldn't ground out on the barbed wire. But being able to graze them like right up to it means that on this side, this whole fence will be cleared completely up to, you know, the bottom right to where the fence is, and that'll be great. And so once we do that on the other side and we can run the sheep that way, that will keep our fence lines completely clean, and we should be able to walk our fence line easily and get all the way around the perimeter. And that'll be great. You happy with that?
I am.
All right,
Let
great.
the sheep do the work.
Like, subscribe, and share to Full and Family Farm to follow the adventures of our family of 8 that move cross country from the Northeast to the Missouri Ozarks to start a farm with no experience and 6 kids. So
It can be done.
it can be done. Have a great day. God bless you.